Hi everyone, welcome to Florida Tips for Brits. I am Andrew, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about 5 mistakes you're probably making when visiting Universal Orlando. Now, I've been to Universal many times, and these are by far the most common mistakes that I hear people talking about or just see people making while they're at the theme parks. So the first mistake I see people making often is that they're just paying too much for drinks. Now obviously this is Florida and it's very hot, so you do want to stay hydrated. It's super important, but that doesn't mean you have to spend too much on your beverages. Now, one way to do this is make sure that you're getting that free cold water from any of the carts or from the freestyle machines. You just go up, ask a staff member for some cold water, and they'll be happy to provide it for you free of charge. Or you can just walk up to those freestyle machines, select water, fill up your refillable water bottle or whatever. Obviously, that method is completely free, but you are tied to just water. Now, if for whatever reason water isn't just going to cut it for you, you might want to take on soda or something like that. Might I recommend buying one of the Universal Studios refillable mugs. So the way these mugs work is you buy them from any of the vendors you'll see dotted around the park. You pay $16.99 for your first fill up and mug, and from then on you just go ahead and you keep filling that mug up all day long with a range of beverages. You can get them from any of these freestyle machines you'll see all over the park. They've got literally hundreds of drinks to choose from, and this can really add up, because we've done it where we've been to the parks before, and if we were buying drinks for the number of times that we filled up, we'd probably have spent $40-50 on drinks, whereas we just spent $16.99 on a mug and just kept filling it up as we went round. So it's a really good money saving tip as well. But another really great thing about these mugs is you can reuse them over and over again. So the next day you go back to the park, you'll still have your souvenir mug. You can just pay $10 to basically get it reactivated and just use it again all day. And you can keep doing this every day of your stay. It's going to save you a fortune, and you get a neat kind of souvenir mug out of it as well. Also, if you're a family and you want to buy multiple mugs, they actually get cheaper the more you buy. So $16.99 is the price for one, but if you buy 3, they're cheaper. You get 3 for like, I don't know, $14 each or something. So it works out even cheaper. The more you spend, the cheaper it gets. I know that sounds a bit counterintuitive, but you know what I mean. Alrighty, the next mistake I see people making just all of the time is they get put off by the long wait times. So they'll be wanting to ride, say, Hagrid's, and they'll see a wait time that's 120 minutes and just think, I'm not standing in line for 2 hours, and they'll give it a miss. Now, the thing is with Universal, in my experience, they do tend to kind of blow the wait times. They'll make them more than they are. And I think this is obviously going back to that old adage of under promise, over deliver, because, you know, at the end of the day, if they tell you it's a 100-minute wait and it's only 45, you're not going to be complaining, are you? Also, I think they do it sometimes, although I've no confirmation of this, to just kind of control the way the crowds are flowing. So if everybody's going to Hagrid's, they just overinflate the wait time at Hagrid's to make people think, oof, maybe I'll do that a little bit later. So the danger with that is, of course, that sometimes that wait time never comes down. In fact, oftentimes it goes up. And so I wouldn't make the mistake of just being put off riding stuff, because you could end up missing it altogether, which would be an absolute travesty, especially if it's that ride that you've really had your eye on, you know, all the run up to your vacation or whatever. So don't be put off too much by the huge wait times. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes they can have big wait times. And I think it's just a case of, if you want to ride a thing, just get in line and wait for it, because oftentimes they will actually be shorter than what they're actually posting. I've seen it before. I think last time I went on Forbidden Journey, it was saying it was like 45-minute wait, and I was off the ride in like 30 minutes. So not only had I got on the ride, I'd ridden the ride and got outside again, and it'd only been half an hour. So that gives you some indication. Not everything's quite as it seems. All right, the third thing, and this is kind of a big one, and it can be a costly one, and that is waiting till the day of your visit to buy, basically anything at this point. I think it's pretty well documented that you kind of want to get your tickets ahead of time, because obviously the lines can be quite long when you get to the theme parks, and obviously you don't want to be losing out valuable theme park time queuing up waiting for tickets. Not only that, but you can usually get some kind of deal if you buy the tickets ahead of time. But moreover here, what we're really looking at are things along the lines of the Universal Express Pass. Now, Universal Express Pass starts at like $80 a day plus tax. And and you never see it for that price, like ever. And the thing is, if you do see it for that price, that's probably because the park is so slow that day that you don't need it anyway. So it's kind of one of those, but it definitely gets up there. Like on a busy day, it can be $300 plus per person for an express pass. So my advice to you is, if you think you're going to want express, to buy it ahead of time, because otherwise if you wait till you get there, that surge pricing can kick in and you can really end up paying a lot more for your express than if you bought it in advance. Better still, I think the way I would do express pass, the way we usually do it, is we will usually book into one of the premier hotels at Universal Orlando, so Portofino Bay, Hard Rock or the Royal Pacific, and they include unlimited express passes for every member of your party in the cost of your room. I think last time we did this, we paid around $380 to stay at Portofino Bay. There were 5 people in my party, so we got 5 unlimited express passes for $380. Not to mention the fact we got to stay overnight at Portofino Bay. Now, important to note here is that you don't actually get the express passes for just one day either if you book a hotel. You get it for 2 days. You get it for the day you check in and the day you check out. So I would say if you are at all considering express passes for Universal, number 1, definitely book them in advance. Number 2, even better, try and book yourself an overnight stay in one of the hotels. You're gonna save a fortune. Okay, number 4, and another really common mistake, and something that honestly I've been really guilty of in the past myself, is just doing the rides. You get into the park and straight away you're like, right, we'll start at the back, we'll do E.T. and The Simpsons and Men in Black and Escape from Gringotts and Transformers and Mummy, you know, and you just do all the rides and you're like, right, great, we've done the rides, let's on to the next park. Huge mistake in both parks, Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios. But for me personally, especially Universal Studios, there is so much to see and do in that park that isn't a ride. So if you're a fan of movies, there are just tons and tons of just movie Easter eggs everywhere. It's amazing. The detail is incredible. Not to mention the fact you've got shows like the Horror Makeup Show, which is just like, it's just incredible. I mean, it's been there for as long as I can remember. I think is it an opening day? Was it an opening day attraction? I'm not sure. I'd have to double check that, but I know certainly it was there in '93 when we went for the first time. And this is a really, really good, fun show, not to be missed at all. And it's not too scary, so it's not like, don't be put off by that if you've got kids with you. There are little bits where it gets a little bit scary, but there's nothing too out of hand. I saw it when I was quite young and I survived. So that's a lot of fun. Also, the Bourne Stuntacular now is incredible. There's also loads of like streetmosphere stuff going on these days. You've got like the guys who kind of play the drums on the scaffolding, and I can't remember what they're called, the name escapes me at this moment in time, but you've got a cappella groups performing, you've got the Blues Brothers, of course, another long-running show, which is just always a good time. And there's just so much to do. So a huge mistake is really just concentrating on the rides and not taking in that theming, because the theming is just incredible. And finally, number 5 on this list, and that is, I think everybody possibly who's been to a theme park has done this in the past, and that is, don't push yourself just too hard. Don't go too hard. Give yourself enough time, take breaks, grab air conditioning. This is what we were saying before about just hitting rides up. This kind of goes hand in glove with that. Like, for example, the Horror Makeup Show. You can go inside, you got a 20-30 minute show, you get to sit down, it's air conditioned, you're doing something great and enjoyable, but also you're getting a chance to really cool down. Going back to those drinks, make sure that you stay hydrated, wear comfortable shoes, and, you know, give yourself enough time to get it all done. Express passes can really help. Going back to that booking, that's why we like to book a hotel stay, because booking those hotel stays gets you the express passes, and that really, really does cut down the amount of time that you stood just waiting in line. But it's very easy when you're on vacation or you're on holiday and you're on that holiday of a lifetime and you just want to get it all done, to just forget to eat or drink or sit down or breathe, because you're just trying to get it, because you've got to get it all done. And, you know, I've seen people, you know, unfortunately end up in the medical centre because they've just pushed themselves a little bit hard. So Don't push yourself too hard, try to have fun, and you will have a great time. So thanks so much for watching this video, and if you made it all the way to the end, you might be interested to learn that Florida Tips for Brits now has a podcast. You can check out our most recent episode here. Thanks for watching.